Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Laura Bender, and this is Laura Bender and Yoga and Wellness. So today, um, what today's practice is going to involve. So with a bit of uncertainty we have on a daily basis, especially now, I would love to develop and acquire something, take ownership. I want to cultivate something. So join me. This is going to be the first of 3-week series, and I want to call it Cultivate. So each week through our practice, we're going to try to develop something that's complete opposite of emotions that are flying around right now. So this first week, I chose happiness. And for me personally, it's been a roller coaster ride of emotions these past few weeks. And when I was tasked with this assignment, this one just was one that jumped out at me right away. It was definitely just something that came into focus immediately. So I'm sure everyone at some point can relate to this in some way, or maybe they're just finding this now and this is where we're at. All right. So again, thanks again for joining. Good morning. And we're going to get started on our mat. And if you notice, I have a few props available today. I have a blanket, a couple blocks to just have at the top of your mat. And if you have a bolster or pillow, or maybe a couple extra blankets, go ahead and grab those as well. All right, and we're going to take a seat on our mat. And let's see. I'm going to try to use minimal props for this practice today. But like I said, just have this stuff available for when you need it. All right, I'm going to grab both of my blocks. And I'm just going to have my blanket available for my head if I want it there. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. And we're just going to start in a reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. And the blocks here, I'm just going to place them underneath the knees to offer some support. Now, again, you don't have to use these here if you wanted gravity to kind of do some work and allow the body to just open naturally. You can do that as well, but I'm just going to offer this as an option. If you want that blanket again, just going to make the adjustments for your head. You want to have the head in line with the spine, so nothing like your neck is cranked up or anything. Arms can be maybe on the body or just open to your sides. And just start to cultivate that breath. Breathing in and out of the nose. And you may find with your breath here that um, maybe you're holding on to something or you have some tightness. So just as you're breathing in and out, allow that breath to just kind of find its way there. All right, taking maybe two more breaths. And while you're kind of moving that breath in and out of the body, just use your hands to gently bring the legs together. You can move the blocks just to the side. And maybe just kind of for a second here, take the feet to the outer edges of the mat. We'll bring the knees to knock in. And just take 3 breaths. All right, excellent. Go ahead and just roll over to your favorite side for a moment and press yourself up. And we're going to come to our hands and knees for a few of these poses here of our floor work. And if you have your blanket here, you can use it at this point. I'm going to come into a child's pose. And yeah, this is only if you need it. It's for my benefits, for my needs. But you know, you don't have to use that if you don't want to. But we will be here for a few moments, a few minutes. Let's go ahead and bring the knees wide. They don't have to be as wide as your mat, but maybe they are. Maybe the other pose was a little much. So let's go ahead and just kind of take yourself down, bringing the toes to touch in the back, pushing back towards your heels, and resting the forehead down onto your mat. And if maybe you can't quite reach the mat here, you can always bring a block underneath the forehead or even underneath the chest too. Some people find that is more of a little bit of a lift, kind of like in that abdomen area. So finding some length in our spine as we gently press back towards the heels. All right, take your time here, walking your hands back. And we'll just come to our hands and knees for a moment. We're going to swing the legs to the right or the left and bring them out in front. All right, I'm just going to be gentle here. You might, if your hamstrings are kind of tight, and actually since I was just in two positions where I was really kind of working the hips, and even my knees a little bit, just to kind of be gentle and extend the legs out in front of us. Now, if you have a bolster, oops, I can't quite reach it. If you have a bolster, go ahead and grab that. We're going to place it on top of the legs. Or if you prefer, you can always take your legs wide like this and kind of place it here. Either one is fine. The idea is we're going to give those hamstrings a little bit of work to do so that we can kind of open up and start to move a little bit in a few moments. All right, so if you want, again, you can kind of just have the bolster between your legs or on top. And whatever position you decide to take, go ahead and just start to fold it forward. If you can, try to keep your legs straight. And maybe this is something you're working towards, so whatever works for you. As soon as you kind of start to feel something, this is where we land for the pose. Actually, I'm going to back a little bit. I'm just kind of gently resting the hands on your legs, on your shins, if you have it, or if the bolster's in your lap, just use that as your support. And just like any other practice, especially when we're in poses like this, we're going to find maybe a little bit of depth in our cold muscles and our cold ligaments and joints. Everything is just kind of not even warmed up yet. You want to find a little space, if you start to feel something, maybe it's getting a little too easy, just kind of adjust a little bit and find a little bit more space. So maybe you're inching your torso, your chest a little more forward to kind of fold in a little deeper. We're just kind of reaching gently for your toes or maybe your ankles. All right, let's go ahead and wherever you are, just going to start to roll yourself up. Nice. All right, and let's go ahead. I'm going to move this out of the way for now, and I probably won't need that again, but you know, doesn't hurt to have it nearby. Let's go ahead again, gently bring the feet to the mat. We're going to roll the feet to the side, come to our hands and our knees. Let's go ahead and come to that nice neutral spine, pressing in. And you can have your toes tucked or untucked here, totally up to you. I kind of want a little bit of stretch in the back, so bottoms of the feet. So if you kind of were looking for that, since we kind of, child's pose was kind of probably cramping them up. All right, bring your fingers spread nice and wide. Let's start to drop the belly down, lift the heart up. Good. Exhale, start to press away, coming into that cat spine, tucking the chin. Again, deep breath. Lifting that heart. And then exhale, pressing back. Start to do a few more on your own breath. Starting to add this movement now into the body. All right, we'll do one more round. Kind of really bringing that chest up. Good. And then exhaling it, that chest. Kind of sucking everything in, tucking the chin under. Good. Going back to that tabletop pose. Let's go ahead and take the right arm. We're going to sweep it up, reach it towards the ceiling, and then leave it underneath the left arm. We're going to bring the side of the head to the mat. Let me get that here. And go ahead and stretch out your left fingers. So we're kind of reaching them forward. I'll take a few breaths here. Opening up the upper back. All right, one more breath. All right, starting to walk those left fingertips back. Let's press into the mat, lifting that right arm all the way up, kind of pausing here at the top, opening up. Good. And then bring the hand back down. Inhaling, bringing that left arm up. Yeah, so maybe you'll notice too when you're here in the beginning, it's not quite that easy. So you kind of have to warm up here. So yeah, bring the side of the head to the mat. Stretch that left arm underneath the right. And we'll just breathe. All right, one more breath. As you walk your hand back, let's press in with that right arm. Lift that left arm up. Oh, yeah. Good. And then bring it back down to your mat. Now, if you aren't already, go ahead and walk towards the center or maybe towards the back of your mat. If you have a blanket there that's kind of walking towards the back of that blanket. I'm going to tuck my toes and start to walk my hands forward. And as I do that, I'm going to melt the chest down. I'm going to do a melted heart. Again, we'll just spend a few breaths here, allowing the hips to be lifted. forehead or chin to the mat. All right, one more breath in. All right, as you exhale, or inhale, I should say, walk the hands back, exhaling the breath out, coming back to that nice flat back. I'm going to go ahead and remove my blanket from on the mat and just kind of move it to the side as we move on with our practice. So coming back to that tabletop pose, tucking the toes under, let's go ahead and start to lift the hips up. And we're going to come to our first downward facing dog, pushing those heels back towards the earth as we really press in with the fingertips, coming in towards the spine. And just taking a few breaths here. Maybe while you're doing that, just slowly pedaling the feet, bending one knee, bending the other. Again, working those hamstrings, the calves. Even kind of like when we're pedaling here, you know, you're kind of even flexing the toes a little bit. Allowing the head to drop between the biceps. All right, one more round here just to kind of walk out the feet a little bit and then come back to stillness. And let's go ahead and lift up onto the tippy toes. And as you exhale, really press the hips up and back, and then we'll drop those heels down, maybe a little closer to the earth. Finding some length in the back. All right, so our next inhale, let's go ahead to shift the body forward. So now the shoulders are above the wrist, and we're in a nice high plank. Taking a few breaths here. Good, exhale back, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna do that two more times. Just kind of building some heat in the belly. All right, so again, shifting it forward, plank pose. And exhale it back. Downward facing dog. All right, last time, again, inhale it forward, plank. And exhale it back. Good, just walk the toes in a little closer. So maybe they're a couple fists apart. We're gonna inhale, reach that right leg all the way up. And as we start to shift forward, we're gonna step that foot on the mat. Take your time here, maybe create that space between the legs. So we're in two lanes of traffic. Let's come up to a crescent lunge. So reaching those arms up. And we're just gonna be here for a moment with these arms like this. And what I want you to do is as you exhale your next breath out, start to bend those elbows, open up the chest. Really feel your heart opening, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Good, reaching the arms up, inhale. And then exhale, open up to an open arm twist. So taking the right arm back, reaching those left fingertips forward. here, and as you start to reach back now for that left leg, revolving our crescent. Maybe your gaze shifts over to the right. Let's inhale back, center, reach the arms up. And then we're going to take a big step up to the top of the mat, reaching up, chair pose. Good. Inhale, straighten the legs out, reach those arms up, open the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome. Let's go ahead. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale and fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart leads. Exhale, fold. So let's plant the hands down, step it back to plank. Take a few moments here in that high plank. And then exhale to downward facing dog. All right, so other side. So again, walking those toes together, inhaling up the left leg. And as we start to lunge it forward, again, stepping that foot down, finding those two lanes of traffic as you come into crescent lunge. Good, now start to bend those elbows with that next exhale, open the chest. Good, reach those arms up. And then start to open up to the left this time. So taking the left arm back as those right fingers reach it forward. And then tipping backwards, revolving that crescent. All right, inhale back to center, coming back to that crescent lunge. And then again, we're going to take that big step up to the top, chair pose. And then slowly straighten the legs, open the heart. And then exhale, hands come down to the heart center. All right, let's go ahead. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. So plant those hands again, step it back. All right, taking a moment here. This time we're going to do a few vinyasas. So go ahead, lower down, either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Good, inhale, heart lift to cobra or up dog. And then exhale, lifting up the hips high, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths. All right, inhaling both of those heels up. And then looking up towards the top of our mat by our fingers. And maybe taking a hop or step all the way up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, roots to rise, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale and fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Take it back to your plank. Hold it for a breath. And then exhale, lower either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, heart lift. And then exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. All right, excellent. We'll do one more of those, inhaling the heels up, bending the knees, again, hopping, walking, stepping all the way up to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Again, bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Take it back to plank. Deep breath in. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, heart lift. And then exhale back, down dog. Okay, so here we go. Again, bringing the feet again a little closer together. Go ahead and lift up that right leg, inhaling it up. Exhale, again, step it up to the top softly. And then create that space once again, finding that crescent lunge. Excellent. Okay, yeah, sinking in. So here's what we're gonna do a little bit differently. Go ahead and reach the arms. Actually, what we'll do is first the cactus of the arms. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead, bring those arms forward. They're both reaching out in front. Flip up the palms. We're gonna bend that right elbow and then wrap the left underneath for eagle arms. Again, lifting off the face. And then we're gonna step this left leg up. So again, pause here if you need to, and then come into eagle. Good. Let's go ahead and slowly unwrap the legs, step the foot back to crescent, reach those arms up. All right, start to cartwheel them down towards the mat. Plant that left hand, reach the right arm up, sorry. Good, go ahead and plant the hand, step back to plank, inhaling here, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, heart lift, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead, bring those toes again together, nice and close. Inhaling up that left leg. Exhale, step it up, finding that crescent. All right, so opening up the arms, cactus. And we'll reach them so they're forward. Flipping the palms, bending both of the elbows. So starting with the left and then wrapping that right one underneath. Excellent. And then we're going to go ahead, step the right foot up. Take your time, cross the leg, sit into eagle. Excellent. Let's go ahead and step the foot back again, crescent lunge. Whoops. This is why I have a wall here. Bring those arms up for just a second. As we cartwheel them down, right arm plants this time, left arm lifts. All right, stepping it back. And then taking that vinyasa here. Meeting ourselves in downward facing dog. All right, just take a few moments. All right, again, bringing the toes together, inhaling up the right leg. Let's go ahead and bump it on that right tricep. Good. Inhale up. And then into the nose. Inhaling up. And let's go ahead and send it over to the left. And as we do that, keep the legs through. Yeah, open the heart up, wild thing. Good. Send it back. Three-legged dog. Then we'll come in for half pigeon. So we're already kind of slowing down. Take a moment here to kind of lift the heart. And if you need props for this, which I usually always do, go ahead and place them put them in place and then fold over. All right, go ahead and come up onto your hands and just remove the prop. Let's put the props to the side for a sec. We're gonna roll up over onto that right hip, and I'm gonna swing my left leg around. So I'm coming into like more of a half butterfly here. I'm gonna turn towards the extended leg and just walk myself out, taking a few breaths, folding over. All right, go ahead and walk yourself up. I'm gonna place my right hand just behind my right hip and then start to come up onto my shin. We're rolling into like a little half, like a variation of gate pose. Good. Then kind of roll back down. I'm gonna bring that right leg now and cross it over. I'm gonna actually switch positions so you can see what's happening. And we're just gonna squeeze that knee into the chest, take a big hug in, and then twist over to the right side. Awesome. Let's go ahead and unravel your arms. We're gonna take the legs and swing them around, coming to a high kneeling position. Now, kind of still working on the right side of the body, I'm gonna grab one of my blocks and place it right by my ankle, right by my heel, I should say. We're gonna have the legs about hip distance apart. We're gonna do a half camel pose here, and we'll do the other side in a moment as well. All right, so go ahead, inhale both of the arms up, reach that nice and tall, start to engage the body here. And then we're slowly gonna cartwheel that right arm back, reaching for the block. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back down, back to a tabletop pose. Tuck the toes here, lift up the hips, downward facing dog. Awesome. Let's go ahead and bring the toes together again, inhaling up the left leg. We're gonna reach that little tricep, again, tapping it Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it up. Then over to the right, and then kick that leg through. Coming into that wild thing again. We're drop the hand down, and then bring the knee in towards the left wrist as you walk those right toes back. Again, finding that block or props if you need them. All right, go ahead and bring yourself up from your prop. Okay, dokie. Roll over onto the left hip this time. And again, we're going to bring the left sole of the foot into the right thigh. Now turn that direction and then just fold yourself down. All right, go ahead and walk your hands back. We're going to place that left hand right by that left hip. Reaching up and opening up here. Awesome. Let's go ahead and bring it back down. I'm going to swing my leg back around here so you can see what's up. And then cross that left foot over the leg. Again, keeping both of my feet active. I'm going to give it a little hug in and then twist over to the left. All right, go ahead and unravel the body. We'll cross the legs again, swing them to one side. I'm going to grab, again, my block as I come up to that high kneeling position. I'm going to reach both of my arms up, again, starting to engage. And then I'm going to slowly cartwheel my left hand back to my block, lifting up for our half camel. Excellent. Let's go ahead, bring yourself down. Come back to a tabletop for a moment. And then we'll just do one last down dog and just to kind of find your way back in. Allow the back to lengthen out. Pedal the feet if you need. Good. Okay. And then we'll come to the knees, swing the legs around and grab one of your blocks on the way down here. Just kind of having our feet on the mat. We'll place the hands behind the thighs. Let's lower all the way to our back. You can take your time. Let's walk the heels in towards our hips. Excuse me, towards our bum. And have the toes pointing forward, legs about hip distance apart. We're going to place the block at this lower setting here. Or if you prefer, we can do the middle one too, either one. Lift up the hips with your inhale. And then as you exhale, rest that sacrum on the block. We can bring the arms out to the sides. Good, and just find some little release here. Maybe even rolling the shoulder blades underneath the back, a little lift in our chest. And this is kind of an extra little bit if you want to try it. You can extend the legs out long. This offers a little stretch on the top of the body, the psoas, that little, it doesn't get much. And then taking our chin and slightly guiding it up just a little bit, not like a lot, but just guiding the chin up just a little off the chest. Again, just maybe walk the feet back in. Coming back to your supported bridge just for a few more moments. Okay, so let's go ahead and press into our mat with our feet, lift up the hips, and we're just going to remove that block from underneath. Taking the feet maybe about as wide as your mat. Let's just kind of start to windshield wiper the legs a little side by side. And again, cactus the arms here. So we just want them resting beside our body, palms up. Gaze maybe is up for a moment, and just kind of taking our time as we kind of move the spine a little bit. And go ahead and drop the knees, and they don't have to be stacked or any way, shape, or form. Just kind of drop them easily over to the right side. Again, having the arms in a cactus to open up the chest, and then maybe taking the gaze over to the left side. All right, let's go ahead and start to windshield wiper the legs again. Gaze back to center, up towards the ceiling. Okay, let's go ahead and drop them over to the left again without any, any kind of expectation here of how much we should be twisting. Just kind of let them fall wherever. Bring the gaze to the right. All right, go ahead and bring yourself back to center and extend the legs out long. Now, we're just going to do a full body stretch before we find our Shavasana. So allow the arms to reach up overhead and the toes to just reach in the opposite direction, lifting up our low back off the mat. Again, just kind of taking a second here. I'm going to grab my bolster for Shavasana just to have some support. Totally up to you on where you want to go. So again, just kind of maybe if you have a blanket or something, just kind of settle in. Maybe you're just flat on your back. I mean, any of those positions work. And just go ahead and release the arms to the sides. Let the toes fall open, palms up. And just invite all the happiness that you can muster, that you can feel from your energy. Just invite it into the body. So begin to deepen your breath. And start to create some gentle movements in the body, wiggling toes and fingers, rocking your head a little from side to side. Once again, give yourself a nice big stretch. Just reaching the arms and the legs in opposite direction. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest, giving them a gentle squeeze, and then rolling over to your favorite side, just using the arm as a pillow for a moment. All right, then go ahead, press yourself up to a seat. Keeping your eyes closed or maybe at a soft gaze. All right, just coming to bring yourself up, finding length in the spine. And then let's go ahead, inhale, reach those arms up high. Connect the palms together, and then we're going to bring the hands to the heart. Well, thank you so much for joining me, sharing your practice, cultivating happiness today. So thank you so much again, and have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. Let's bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye, center of the forehead. The divine light in me honors the divine light in each of you. And together we bow. Namaste. All right. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.